Good morning, third grade. Today you have lesson 96 and it is 8 as a divisor. So that means we're dividing a whole group into eighths. And so how many groups would that be? So we learned for our multiplication times 8 that we double, then double, then double again. So the nice thing about that strategy is it can work for us with division also. It's just instead of doubling, we go backwards. We do the opposite. So if I have, for example, like 2 plus 2 equals 4, then when I'm trying to divide and I start with 4, then I have to say what's half of 4, which is the same thing as divide by 2. So half of 4 is 2. And so then look, you have the same numbers, just in backwards order. So instead of double the double the double, you're going to do half, then half again, and one more time half. So when we do divide by 2, we're doing half. When we divide by 4, we take half and then another half of that new number. And then when we do 8, we take the divisor, the big number, divide it in half, then split it in half again. Now, some of them, if you look down below, like this problem, it doesn't give you the big number first. Same as this one. So on those, you're actually going to work backwards. And I will talk about those when we get there. All these where it doesn't have that first number. So let's practice this strategy. So this is our big number. So that's the number I'm going to take in half. Now this one it didn't matter because it was divided by 8 and it has 8. So it's any time that we're dividing by 8, that's what we're going to do. So half of 8 is 4. Then half of 4 is 2. Then half of 2 is 1. So therefore, 8 divided by 8 is 1. So I should have 3 numbers, and the last number would be my answer. Let's go across. Let's do half of 24. So half of 24 is 12. Half of 12 is 6. Half of 6 is 3. Oh, oops, sorry. They already have the 3 there. So this one, we wouldn't do our half strategy because it's 3 already. So it's what are we, if the half strategy worked though, half, 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 it meant we were dividing by 8. So my bad. I need to look closer. All right, now let's go back to B because that's one we skipped since it doesn't have the big number to start with. So when we have that, we have to go work through the problem backwards. Well, when we do that, we do the opposite of a division problem, the inverse. And what is the opposite of division? It's multiplication. So we're actually doing 2 times 8 equals, so we can skip count by 2's, or just know that 2 times 8 is 16. So our answer is 16. Now I can double check that by doing my half strategy. What is half of 16? 8. What is half of 8? 4. What's half of 4? 2. So that's what my answer was, my quotient of my division problem. So it worked. So you can always check it. All right, the next one is the same. So we're going to do 4 times 8. So since it's in times 8, we can do our double, the double, the double. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So our answer is 32. Let's double check it by doing the half, half, half. So half of 32 is 16. Half of 16 is 8. And half of 8 is 4. And that matches. Okay? All right, let's do the E. What is half of 40? So what plus what equals 40? 20. What is half of 20? Half of 20 is 10. What's half of 10? 5. So 5 goes on the line. Okay. Let's skip down to, or I will go across to F. All right, so for F, since it is missing the big number, we need to get a bigger number on that. So I'm going to multiply, because multiplying gives me bigger numbers. So 6 times 8. So therefore, since it's times 8, I'm going to use my number 6 and double that. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 24 is 48. So the reason that this strategy of doubling and cutting them in half works is we just doubled, and I explained how that works, because 4 is a double of 2 and then 8 is a double of 4. But this is basically going backwards. Like if I were to start with 48, what's half of 48? 24. What's half of 24? Oh, 12. What's half of 12? Oh, 6. So I just did the double strategy, double the double the double. But if we work it backwards, therefore we have half, half, and half. All right, so I did half of them with you. I would like you to try the other half. Now, when you get to big numbers like, for example, 56, and if you don't know what half of 56 is, we learned yesterday that 1/2 of 56 can be written out like that, which is the same thing as saying 56 divided by 2. So you can write 56 divide by 2 and then solve it as a long division. Like 2 goes into 5 2 times, because that's 4. I have 1 left. Bring down my 6. So 28. So half of 56 is 28. Then you do what is half of 28. So just in case you don't know how to do those big numbers, you can divide by 2. And then once you get to 28, also divide that by 2. Okay? All right, I'll read the story problems for you. Emmanuel Christian School has 78 students in 3rd grade and 19 fewer students in 4th grade. How many students are in 3rd and 4th grades all together? So I'm going to give you a hint. Write down, how many does Emmanuel Christian have? Oh, sorry, 3rd grade. They're all Emmanuel Christian. Okay, so I'll say 3rd. And then they have 19 fewer in 4th. So you need to figure out how much is in 4th. And then it says how many is there all together. So that's where you would add. But we have to know, if this is 78, do we know how many are in 4th grade? All right, next one. Mom is baking 5 large pans of apple crisp. She needs 5 cups of apples per can. How many cups of apples does she need? Okay. Number 3, fill in the blanks with less than or greater than. So first, we have to look at which is the same, the numerator or the denominator. Since this one, the denominator is, and so is the next one, then it means that we know that the pizza is already cut into 8. So if the pieces are pre-cut, would you want 5 slices or 2 slices? Which one's going to give you more? 5 slices would give you more. Okay, so follow that rule for the next one. For the ones where the numerator is the same, Mom or Dad says you only get 1 slice. 1 slice. Would you rather... Would you rather have one of these slices or one of these slices? Yeah, you want to share with the fewer number of people to get the bigger slice. All right, on the back, it's the fractional part of a number. This is what you learned in yesterday's lesson. To find the fractional part of a number, divide the whole number by the denominator. So it's saying whole number. This of, we're dividing, and then our denominator, because remember, it does not make sense to divide by 1 or we get the same number. Okay, so practice that, follow the signs, and convert your measures. That's all review. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, good luck.